Today, we've got some really heavy news coming out of the Philippines. As of November 9th, 2025, the country is staring down the barrel of Super Typhoon Uwan, also known as Fung-wong, and it's shaping up to be an absolute monster. If you're in the US, think of this like a Category 5 hurricane the size of several states combined, heading straight for a nation that's already on its knees. Just days ago, Typhoon Kalmiji ripped through the same area and left over 200 people dead. Families are still burying their loved ones, homes are in ruins, and now here comes Uwan, bigger, stronger, and ready to hit a lot of the same spots again. This morning, Philippine weather officials upgraded Uwan to super typhoon status. We're talking sustained winds of 185 kilometers per hour, that's about 115 miles per hour, and gusts hitting 230 kilometers per hour, or roughly 143 miles per hour. For reference, that's stronger than most hurricanes we've seen make landfall here in the States in recent years. The storm is massive. Its rain bands and wind field stretch almost 1,600 kilometers across, nearly 1,000 miles. That's like a storm covering from Florida all the way up to New York City. Right now, the center is sitting about 120 kilometers, that's 75 miles, east of Virac in Catanduanes province, and it's moving west-northwest at around 25 kilometers per hour or 15 miles per hour. In other words, landfall is just hours away. Coastal communities, roads, power lines, basically everything in its path is at risk. Millions of people are in the danger zone, and evacuation orders are already in full swing. The Philippines gets hit by around 20 typhoons a year, so folks there are tough and resilient, but back-to-back storms like this, it's disaster on top of disaster. Heartbreaking doesn't even begin to cover it. Meteorologists say this beast is going to slam into land somewhere between Aurora and Isabela provinces late Sunday night or early Monday morning. Philippines Defense Secretary Gilberto Teodoro went on national TV and didn't sugarcoat it. He called this one of the strongest storms of the entire year. We're talking tens of millions of people from Luzon all the way down to the Visayas who could feel the impact. His message was crystal clear. Local governments need to get people out of high-risk areas right now. Once the rain starts hammering down, rescue boats and trucks won't even be able to move. It'll be too dangerous. The government has hoisted signal number 5, that's the highest warning level, over Catanduanes, Aurora, Isabela, Camarines Norte, and Camarines Sur. Metro Manila, they're under signal number 3, which still means brutal winds, torrential rain, and possible flash floods. As of 4 p.m. local time on November 9th, more than 100,000 people have already been moved out of coastal and low-lying neighborhoods. Schools, gyms, town halls, even churches have been turned into temporary shelters. They're handing out food, clean water, blankets, and medicine to everyone who shows up. The military, police, and local community militias are all hands on deck. They've split into small teams to help the most vulnerable elderly folks, kids, pregnant moms, get to safety fast. Crazy footage from the Philippine Coast Guard in Camarines Sur shows hundreds of families clutching their bags, piling onto evacuation trucks while rain is already pouring and the wind is starting to howl. Over in Aurora province, where the eye of the storm is expected to hit first, rescue workers are literally going door to door, begging people to leave before it's too late. Guys, this is unfolding right now. If you have family or friends in the Philippines, make sure they're paying attention to local officials and getting to higher ground. Many people are refusing to leave their homes, hoping to protect what's theirs. But as one responder said, we don't want another Kalmiji tragedy. Just last week, Typhoon Kalmiji took more than 200 lives in the Philippines, mostly across the central provinces, before slamming into Vietnam and claiming even more. Now, with Typhoon Uwan approaching, President Ferdinand Marcos has declared a national state of emergency, ordering every government department to prepare for what could be another massive disaster. The country's weather agency is warning of intense rainfall, up to 200 millimeters, expected in the Baikal region, Samar, and parts of eastern Luzon. In the northern mountains, landslides are a major threat. The ground is already soaked after days of non-stop rain. And it's not just the wind or the rain that's dangerous. Experts fear storm surges up to 5 meters high, strong enough to swallow entire coastal villages. A red alert has been issued for Albay, Camarines Sur, Catanduanes, Aurora, and Isabela, all areas that could be hit by tsunami-like waves. Travel has already come to a standstill. Over 300 flights have been canceled, and at least 86 ports have suspended operations, leaving more than 6,000 passengers and workers stranded. On the roads, fallen trees and electric poles have made several routes impassable. Some areas in eastern Visayas and Baikal have already lost power completely. In a press briefing, meteorologist Benison Esterija warned that this storm isn't just about the wind. It's the deadly mix of strong gusts and relentless rain that could cause catastrophic damage across wide regions. When both hit at once, roofs won't be the only thing torn apart. Super Typhoon Uwan is not just another storm. It's a powerhouse that could take down power lines, flood roads, and cut off millions of people from basic necessities like water and electricity. Authorities are warning that the storm surge, especially when combined with high tides, could slam into the eastern coast of Luzon, bringing catastrophic flooding to coastal towns. But it's not just homes and roads in danger. Economists are already sounding the alarm that this storm could hit the Philippines' agricultural sector hard. Rice and corn fields, right in the middle of harvest season, might be completely wiped out. And along the coast, fish farms are facing destruction from rising sea levels and massive waves. If that wasn't enough, widespread blackouts and damaged roads could choke off supply chains across the country, making recovery even tougher. Experts estimate that rebuilding infrastructure, restoring production, and providing relief could cost billions of pesos. What makes things worse is that many communities are still recovering from Typhoon Kalmiji. In Cebu province, one of the areas hardest hit, rescue crews are still searching for survivors. But today, they had to stop their operations because of dangerous weather as Typhoon Uwan moved in. Rescue coordinator Mira Davin said, "We had no choice but to pause our search this afternoon. We can't risk the lives of our teams out there in these conditions." Meanwhile, in the capital city of Manila, residents are rushing to stock up on food, bottled water, and candles. Some neighborhoods near the Pasig River have already started evacuations, even though the storm hasn't directly hit the city yet. Officials are warning that the heavy rain could overwhelm the city's drainage systems, leading to major flooding in low-lying areas. Super Typhoon Uwan is closing in fast, and the nation is bracing for impact. On the morning of November 9th, the first powerful gusts of Super Typhoon Uwan began hammering the Baikal region. In Catanduanes, heavy rain poured endlessly as trees bent dangerously under the wind's force. Power lines snapped, and the entire island was plunged into darkness. Massive waves crashed onto the shore again and again, while the deafening wind howled through towns, blending with the wail of warning sirens. Families and evacuees crowded inside shelters, glued to the radio for hourly updates on the storm's movement. Even with all the warnings and preparations, officials feared the worst, the kind of destruction no one can fully prevent. "Nature can't be stopped," said Defense Secretary Teodoro, "but together, we can lessen the risks through cooperation and vigilance." The government urged everyone to follow official instructions, stay indoors, avoid unnecessary travel, and be prepared for any emergency that may come. Like, share, and subscribe for more real updates from around the world.